Good afternoon there. My name is Tumi Tladi and welcome to my YouTube channel. And if this is the first video of mine that you are watching, please, I'm going to urge you to watch my previous videos, all the way from the video that's titled Overview of Identical Dogs, where I set out an expectation of this YouTube channel. So currently I'm in the midst of a series doing version control. Before we go further, today is Thursday, the 5th of August 2021. Time it's 4 minutes after 2 p.m. Like I said, we are still busy with our series, or the series on version control. And the previous video that we covered, video number 52, I believe, where we did fetch, pull, and push. So yesterday I had already started recording this video, but in the midst of 10 minutes, Visual Studio hang and it could not be responsive. So I just decided to shut the computer down, literally. But I'm glad that I was still, I had already finished doing the main work, and then programmed other projects, and then it's only then when I decided to record, then it became all funny. But it's fine because we did some work. But before I talk about this topic, I have a Postman running. Please check my previous video. There's a video titled External Service Postman, where we covered it as an external service. I have it running. Now, I also have Visual Studio. You see the project that's currently open, it's email API. So the good news is that I've deployed, and I know it's not only SMS API dot identical docs.co.za. Also, I think a dedicated video on this project SMS API. Please go and watch it. It's a very interesting video. Today I deployed a friend, which is email API dot identical docs.co.za. So I'm just doing a recap on that. So I deployed this guy today. So this is a ASP.NET Core Web API project. Also, this guy is ASP.NET Core Web API project. By the way, this email API project we did create it. I believe between here. I believe, yeah, Git clone. I think so. So please watch the intent of this project. Now, with that being said, but we will launch Github just now. Okay, so I just want to show something quickly that I'm excited about. So you can see that successfully published today, after I deployed my commit to both GitHub and Azure DevOps. So there's something interesting about this. Okay, by the way, so this is the entire ASP.NET Core Web API project. It's now fully operational. It's good to go. So something that's interesting is this one. If I go to settings for publish operation, where I'm still using FTP server, it's interesting that now my service provider that's responsible for hosting all my web applications, my domains, my databases, my FTP, web server, that company, I did a video on it. Please watch external service, where I covered host king. And then in that video, I did mention that they did not, at the time of me exploring .NET Core, particularly 3.1, they did not support it. Funny enough, today when I'm like, okay, let's try this framework dependent. You see, this deployment mode, framework dependent, meaning that my project depends on the framework that's already deployed on their servers. So usually I do self-contained. That's where it drags all the files. And this one, it's a quicker one because it's only gonna upload to the server. Few of the files are required. The main files, the main framework, it's already on the server, which is good news for me. Okay, so basically it's been deployed, which is good news. Okay, and then let's close this guy. Yeah, Visual Studio has this habit of hanging. I don't know why. Like, close solution, and then we're about to open YouTube_private_new. It's a project we've been working on for this series because I need to do some stuff there. So I just want this guy to launch in the background. In the meantime, I continue to talk about this email API project. So basically with SMS API, the idea was because I changed my credentials wherever I have credentials, like I have multiple credentials for Microsoft, for Visual Studio, it's one account, like Office and everything. I have multiple credentials, so I usually change them randomly, if not yearly. So the thing is, the SMS API, there's also a video that I covered. It's called External Service Provider Bulk SMS. Please watch that video. So when I decide to do this project, it's because I want the credentials, I want the URL to be in one project, and I want the client to call this ASP.NET Core Web API. I did the same thing with email API. So email API is the same thing, that if I want to send an email to the client, I don't need to configure, because with the email you need to configure everything, like what's the port, if you're gonna enable SSL, what's the server or the domain, what's the username, what's the password, where's it coming from, where's it going, all of that. So I did here. So now let me just launch this guy and we'll go to Postman. Okay, so on Postman I did test it. So this is how it looks like. Don't worry about the API key, I reduced it. Usually it's 26 characters, so because it's highly sensitive, it's an actual API key, so I just want to show that this is the server, mail.identicaldocs.co.za from, you see, the official domain, which is accounts@identicaldocs.co.za, to mutibi_1. It's one of my personal Gmail account because I have, I think, 5. And then subject dudes, body testing from Postman tool. Yes, I did test this, and the status code was 200. As you can see that I've been playing around with it today, and yesterday I started exploring the ability to send actual email. Okay, so the Postman, then it helps in this regard, especially when it's been deployed, because here I was testing local, as you can see, localhost, but I also relied on Swagger. But I like to use Swagger, and afterwards I like to use a Postman. But once it's been deployed, because I have to turn off a Swagger and then just use a Postman, as you can see the URL here. Okay, so this Postman. Now going back now to GitHub, just to show the number of the commits and then what I've been doing on this email API project before we get down to business of today. In fact, everything I'm doing here has to do with the main thing, which is identical docs. Everything derives from it, So let's go to, as you can see, August email API, 9 additional commits. An hour ago I pushed some stuff, and in total there are 32. And if I look at the commit, you can see today I pushed about 4, and yesterday 3, the day before 2, and so forth. So this is what makes the entire project. Okay, and then we did cover the commit messages. Please watch the previous video where I did cover commit messages and mesh changes. So how I write the proper commit messages, as you can see. All right, I want to show something. Okay, let me show this. I want to show this commit, this one, and then this one. Firstly, this one. I want to show you where the laziness from the developer side. So basically, if you can see, the commit says I modified, right, the validation rules on post1 email validator class. Yes, I did modify. So previously it was the server or domain should not be empty, right? And then the email from should not be empty. Notice should not be empty. And then it could not work, but I had already created commit. I had already deployed it. So 2 problems. I created a commit without testing. Secondly, I deployed this into a production server without testing it. It's when I used Postman that I saw that, okay, this validation is in fact wrong when I used empty. This is a fluent validation. Please check my previous video. I also covered external service, a fluent validation. So empty could not satisfy the requirement. Okay, and then I went back to length 5. Look at this. I changed to say length 5. Okay, let them have length, but did not read that this method actually what gets to be passed in as a parameter is exact length. So then this commit, the most recent one, I said modify the validation rules again on the post one email validator class. This is a waste of time. This is a waste of commits. So I had to get it right to say, okay, you know what, this is going to be the minimum and then this is going to be the maximum length. So what I'm trying to say is, don't just be in a hurry to create commit. Before you create a commit, build your application. It's a rule. It needs to build. And then once it does that, test that specific piece of code that you somehow added, changed, fixed, debugged, whatever it is. Before you create a commit, test it, unless it's something basic. But this is something that's huge because it could not work, as I made it worse by deploying it into a production server and then later on using Postman. It could not work. So I had to go back and change this. So these are key things that you need to be aware of. So business of today. Let's open Azure DevOps. Okay, so me going back to GitHub, we're gonna go back to, let's go to repository. And then we're gonna open YouTube_private_new because I did some work yesterday and then Visual Studio hang and then I was like, nah, I am leaving. Okay, so if you look at this guy yesterday, as you can see, it was updated. So let me open this guy, and this side, let me go to, yeah, this is a perfect organization. This is the report that we've been working on. So let's go to the files. I'm wondering why my internet is so slow. Okay, so if you look at this is yesterday, and then I tempered with the readme file, where the commit message is tempered with readme file. Okay, because I want to simulate now the business of today, which is conflicts. Okay, I don't know why everything it's a bit slowish. I don't know why. I hope everything is not gonna. Okay, so the topic of conflicts, let's do a little bit of Google research. Git conflicts. My computer is very slow. It's ugly slow. So while this guy loads, let me go back to Azure DevOps and we're gonna look at, you see this was only modified Tuesday. And if you look at the extra readme file, it says, well, this repo is getting some attraction, and not just that, but also some momentum. But if you look at the one on GitHub, there's more content. After momentum, I said we're about to introduce a conflict. This was me yesterday, and then I stopped. So let's read this guy first. Conflicts generally arise when two people have changed the same lines in a file. There we go. Or if one developer deleted a file while another developer was modifying it. In these cases, Git cannot automatically determine what is correct. Conflicts only affect the developer conducting the merge. The rest of the team is unaware of the conflict. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show using NetMaui. So let's go to Maui, open this in a new tab. Okay, I just want to show that with Microsoft team and the rest of the community working on NetMaui. Okay, I'm excited about this. This is an evolution of Xamarin Forms, but I want to show you the number of the people, the contributors, 383, and then the most recent commit was 3 hours ago, and then some checks were failed, but 3 hours ago. By whom? Hazes, whatever this person is, right? Add visual diagnostic calls to new layout base. Okay, so he created this commit, but if I go into commits, I want to show that multiple people are actually pushing. So this guy pushed, and Matthew committed. You see Matthew and then Hadzes, whoever this person is, and then we have pure win. So this is multiple people, multiple developers. So it's possible for them to modify the same file. It doesn't matter which lines of code, as we read here, right? So this is me simulating to say that there was a developer who tampered with the README file, right? So we know this is it. And now I want to go, you see Visual Studio. And why do we have two changes now? Let's go and look at the changes. Oh, so I'll talk about this later on, but I want to open this README file because I made some changes. You see, this was yesterday the 4th. Modify, added extra message on the README file. So basically, let me open the changes, and I'm still gonna do this, which is it's not Git history, but Git diff. I should just say Git diff. Yeah, here it is, Git diff. Where you check the difference, what was removed and what was added. And if I scroll, you see what was added. So after my time, I said to Tumi Tladi, it's about to introduce a conflict. So this was a local. See, the same file is being modified by two different people, but it's just me, but I'm simulating it. But it shows that there's a change. Then let's talk about this file. This file, in my last 10 minute video that I was busy with yesterday, I did explain. I even forgot. Okay, so basically, this file has been modified because in our previous videos where we were doing fetch, pull, and push, we were simulating fetch and pull in order for you to push. So I did tamper with some of the files remotely from one of these cloud providers, GitHub and Azure DevOps. So please watch the previous videos. And then I did say that, okay, for some reason when I fetched using this icon and I pulled, and then this guy was somehow modified. So it doesn't matter the changes, but it's not something I manually modify. So with that being said, I'm about to undo the changes because I don't need these changes to be committed. I only need to deal with a file that I intentionally modified. I hope this makes sense. Okay, so let's close this guy. So I only have the file. So here's the thing. We modify this, right? And we also modify this. We're about to introduce a conflict. But if you look at our Google study, they said conflicts only affect the developer conducting the merge. The rest of the team is unaware. So let's say team A, it's here. They already made some changes, so they're unaware. Then team B has made some changes. So team B is the one that's gonna conduct what? The merge, conducting the merge, of which that's exactly what I'm about to do. So I wrote the message and I did explain that I'm on master branch because I'm simulating this while I'm on master branch and everything. We have already covered this. We already covered the action. Did we change something, rename something, modify something? But the action is modified. Did we add? Then the action will be added. We remove the feature. We did cover this in our previous videos. Please look for commit messages and make changes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna push now. It's gonna go straight to GitHub, but let me do this the right way. Push to GitHub. Now notice what's gonna happen. I did not do this yesterday because the video I had to stop it. I hope I can successfully introduce a conflict. Let's see. Because there's already a commit that I don't have locally. There we go. But what does it say? It says unable to push to the remote repository because your local branch is behind the remote branch. True. Update your branch by pulling before pushing. So what do? Let's first pull. let's do it step by step. Now we are pulling whatever that's on the remote branch, in this case GitHub, right? So let's see. There we go. It says cannot pull because there are uncommitted changes. Commit, stash, or undo your changes before trying. Oh, well, this is still not a... But do you see what it does? This is not the actual commit I'm talking about, but this is also destructive because here I am, I made some changes, whereas another developer has already made some changes. So that's why we covered it in our previous video, that we should first do fetch, pull, only then we can push. But in this case, I tried to pull, but there's some commits, uncommitted changes rather. So they say I should commit or stash or whatever it is. I either commit, stash, or undo, but we tried to commit. Did we commit? Or we did not commit? Okay, let's commit first. Okay, cool. So now you know you cannot fetch and pull while there's something. Now you know. Even if I try right now, yeah, but it didn't make sense. Did I really do push to GitHub without creating a commit? Oh no. Okay, but let's do it the right way. Now, GitHub. We are pushing to GitHub. Still the same thing. So we are pulling this time because we don't have uncommitted commits. Aha! This is the conflict. I successfully introduced conflict because I did bump into this thing, and that's when I taught myself in greater detail Git how it operates. So I did create the local commit, right? So this one is irrelevant, but it says pull completed with conflicts in the YouTube private new repository. Resolve the conflicts and commit the result, right? Cool. So they said the merge in progress with conflicts. So we need to look at the conflicts. They're saying unmerged changes, right? Okay, Microsoft rearrange stuff. Okay, here it is, both modified. You see this file, they said now both modified. So let me double click that to show the difference from the remote and the difference locally. Aha. So here's the remote, here's local. That's what we covered in our previous video, that we do have where is it, locals versus remote. Please watch the previous video. So if you look at this, everything is the same until this is incoming and this is the current one. And see the difference? There's a difference. So this is the result. The result, I believe it that they want to go with the current, but did not check this. Take all conflicts from the current. See, but that's the conflict. So it will be like, hey, team A, did you guys test this thing? Is it working? Maybe it's a login page, you know, maybe they were fixing a bug on the login page. So that's team A, or they say team B, whichever, that doesn't matter. Team A and team B was also attempting to fix the bugs because I mean the company is losing the money because of people could not log in, and those are the clients. So and then team B attempted to fix the same bug on the same file. So now show conflict only. Let's explore this guy. Okay, nothing happens. Take incoming or take current. So it shows now, do you want to take this one or do you want to take that one? Or you can do compare current to incoming. Just click that and see what it does, because like I said, Microsoft rearranged Git and they re-architectured Git. So this one is very interesting. This one, it can show the diff. So that's a difference right there. This is the difference. Okay, so let's go back. Now we know what it does. Compare. What is the arrow? Compare. Okay. And then accept merge. Okay, so but we need to say which one do we go with. Let me go with Tumi Tladi because, yeah. So I'm going to go with this guy. Do you see that the result has changed? So this is the result. Everything is now green to say this is what now we are allowing. And I'm going to go, you see it says take current, and then I'm gonna accept merge. There we go. merge in progress. Are we done? So now we do have one outgoing or unpushed commit. So let's view that one. Let's give it a second, still loading. We're on master branch. There we go. So this is the guy that is incoming, and we also have outgoing. What on earth is happening here? This is incoming. We fixed this guy, and this is outgoing, right? So let's take a look at the committed details to look at the actual file. See, we still have that message, and let's see, did it okay, let's do full window, because I want to scroll. You see Microsoft, now you see now why we need to complain, because this thing was just I don't want the whole window. I want this part to be removed here. Microsoft, here you really screwed up. There we go. So it's taken Tumi Tladi. It's about, okay, so now we know. Cool. But what they did here, it's really pure stupid, because then they want us to close this. It's fine. So we know that this is going, right? But there's also something that's coming. See? Incoming. We know about, so what do? We don't have options to push Y. We can't commit, yeah, exactly. So what do we do here? Can I say now push to GitHub? Why does it still say merge in progress? Okay, that one didn't seem to have worked. Okay, now this is becoming ridiculous now. Let me close this, guys, before they cause more headache. I want to push. They say merge in progress. Push to GitHub. Can I refresh this? Yeah, there's one that's still supposed to go up. Why can't I push? And I'm on master branch. Okay, let me sync it with GitHub. As long as it still says merge in progress, it's a problem, this guy. We already committed our changes to complete the merge operation. But we don't have anything. There's nothing. So what about the incoming one? This is why it's called what you call conflict for a reason, because look at how I'm struggling right now. Yes, these are the changes. We know about the changes. It's a commit. It's already been created. We know about it. nothing else I can do from here. Yeah, but this is ridiculous though. I can't abort mesh in progress. Yeah, I know this is a solution, but why would I want to abort? Ah, no. Why 1+ now? Push. That plus has disappeared. Why? What happened? Oh, okay. They said mesh in progress because I need to write. Oh, let's see. Let's do this. Let's say master again. Ah, now I understand. Master. And then we're gonna say today being the 5th of August 2021, and then it's Thursday, and then I'm gonna say the action is now conflict. Okay, resolved the conflict on the readme file. Oh yes, so if I say commit all, look at that. Only now I have all the options. Now we have 2 commits. This is very interesting. So yes, we brought in tempered with readme, and then okay, this guy, it went and skipped this one. So we're having 2 commits that needs to go up. Let's see. GitHub first. Oh, okay. So even with the conflict, you still need to write a commit message. Interesting. So it's up on GitHub. In the meantime, let's push it to Azure DevOps. There we go. So let's go back to GitHub, and then let's refresh. How many commits do we have? 15. And let's refresh. So they should be 17. There we go. Now they're 17, and then you see now it took those changes now, and then team A lost those changes, and team B now it's back. See, 12 minutes ago where I added extra commit. And then funny enough, if we do this, it only shows that 12 minutes ago, but it doesn't show the most recent commit, this one. It's funny, it doesn't show to which file. You see commit number 17, it's not visible or evident that okay, we modified this file, but commit number 16, this is where it is. And then if we look at the ID, open a new tab and open this one, the current tab. Let's check the one of yesterday. Yes, it shows that we tampered with the actual file, right? And then if you look at the one for today, it just says that we resolved, but doesn't show 0 change files, 0 addition, 0 deletion. So this is an additional commit that is unnecessary, because someone has to give account to this. And the way you're gonna write the message, it needs to make sense. I just wish that this would somehow, you know, be tied to this to show that oh, the conflict actually arose here, or maybe the history of the conflict. Oh, we don't have that. But in a nutshell, this is it. And let's go now to Azure DevOps. As you can see, if I refresh this guy, we will have more stuff here. My name is going to appear one way or the other. There we go. Tumi Tladi is about to introduce a conflict. So that's what happened when one file has been modified by more than one person, then the conflict is going to arise. It's a huge topic here. Huge topic. So I just want to show that when you collaborate, please be careful, learn to communicate. This is why when it comes to Azure DevOps, they're using the boards, like you're going to be doing this specific item, you know, you're going to be doing this, you're going to be doing this. Let me do this. Azure DevOps bots. Yes, I just want to show you something. That there's a way to manage this. I don't know about GitHub. Is it where I can get some images? Example of something drastic. Perfect. Let's see this one. Let's see this one. Okay. So this is the image. Seriously? Yes, how do you zoom? But my magnify doesn't work though. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. Is this thing still recording? I honestly apologize for this. Yo, no 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 no. Oh, yeah, no, this one is not gonna work. Close that one. Now we're gonna rely on this one. Oh, so this one triggers the magnifier, the one that's useless. But if we do, okay, I just want to show that you're not gonna do a specific thing without, you know, talking to the team. So apparently these images are too small, so zooming makes them ridiculous. But I just want to show that, yeah, you properly said you're gonna do this item, and then that's it. With that being said, I hope this video provides some insight into conflicts. As you can see, we resolve them now, and then the next thing we're gonna be doing tomorrow, so then we should mark what this guy done. Save changes. We're gonna do pull requests. I'm excited about this one. Cut. Number 17. We're gonna be covering pull requests. It's gonna be a very interesting topic. Very interesting topic. Okay, with that being said, stay tuned for more videos. I mean, the content is good. I apologize for these technical glitches. I'm still learning. That's why the content is raw. So please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about the goodness on this YouTube channel, because this is raw. You get to see stuff live, not because I did them prior, not because we are doing them together, you know. So that's a difference right there. With that being said, thank you for your time, and until next time.